showing you guys my trade recap today. I made $826 in about 25 minutes. I want to go over the trade, and I also want to go over why I left real estate to do this. So the past 3 months I've been doing day trading, going ham, learning as much as I can. I probably put in maybe 500 hours already into this, and I'm seeing a lot of progress. Went from just like learning how to do it, learning the strategy, learning how it works, and it's just been studying the strategy. Now you find out that the strategy works, and now I'm calling where the market's going, basically. So the past week has me been calling out the market, but I've been afraid to enter trades because of probably the size that I'm putting down. I'm with a prop firm right now. The first 2 months was me just fucking around with it, which is why the account is at 98K. But after today, it's at 99. So, and the goal of that is to get to 106K, and that would be 6%. And then they fund you a $100,000 account, and then you basically can trade with their money. And any profits you make, you split, and anything you lose, I don't have to pay anything. So I just have to restart the challenge again. So it's a pretty good win-win situation. And the plan is to leverage that $100,000 to hopefully buy a lot of accounts and maybe hit, $1 million, 5 million, 10 million in funding. Because the good thing about this job is that it's scalable. So, your 1% return on your $100,000 account is 1,000, but 1% return on your $1 million account would be 10 grand. So instead of me making 1,000 today, I could have made 10,000 today. So that's why I like this. It's pretty scalable. But yeah, okay, going over the trade. At 9:30, basically the market structure was a little bit bearish, low, 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 low. I was waiting for it to hit some key levels. So these are all liquidity levels, and this here is a daily fair value gap. So once it, took all those out, I was waiting for it to basically do a reversal. So that's what we did today. I was going to enter this trade this morning, but like 5 minutes after market opens, I like to wait until 10 after all the dust settles. But what I saw here was basically this. So I saw the liquidity sweep above 11 highs, and then boom, break of structure, hitting all these lows. And then after that low, it's clearly a break of structure. So then after that, I was waiting for a S&T and a continuation confluence. This is the trade that I did not take, but I wanted to. Yeah, here we go. So basically, it tapped into the fair value gap, hit equilibrium, and then ripped off. I was like, should I enter this trade? But I was like, nah, it would have been a sexy return, but I didn't. So I was like, you know what? Let's play it safe, wait for the reversal. So boom, hit the fair value gap, took out all the liquidity, took out even this last one here. After the liquidity sweep, I saw here, which was around 10. What I saw was, I like to look for S&Ts on the 4-hour. So what I saw here was, this is a low and a lower low, but on the S&P, it's a low and a higher high. So that is S&T divergence, which is pretty bullish on this NASDAQ here. So now we're going back here. So I'm like, all right, NASDAQ is, poised to go up based on that S&T. That's a good confirmation. So once it did this, I was like, okay, fair value gap, looks like a break of structure here. So then I was like, okay, so now we got a break of structure, we got a liquidity sweep, we got an SMT. Now I'm looking for a continuation confluence, which is basically a retracement to a fair value gap, or equilibrium, which is what happened here. So it came up. I really wanted to enter around here, but it didn't do a pullback, so I kind of had to wait. And when I was up here, I was like, all right, now that it's up here, what we can do is wait for a 50% equilibrium, or we can wait for a retracement to a fair value gap, and that's what we got here. I was waiting for it to actually hit here, but once I saw this, I was like, all right, it's going, at least past here. So basically, I entered about right here, and I put my stop loss below this right here, which caused that fair value gap, so I put it here. So that was a 1.84 return. I wasn't going anything crazy. So yeah, basically it hit, and it hit here, and then it's kind of been steadying around, so it wouldn't have been much of a thing to hold. So let's show the execution here. So the execution, blue is the buy, red is the sell. So once it went down here, yeah, you can see it, that blue, and like right where that line is. That's where I bought, that's where I sold, and let's go for the profit on the day. which is here. So we got 826 bucks today on the day. We bought it at 10:30, sold it at 10:37. So that's basically 800 and $26.07. So reasons why I left real estate. One, I'm thinking about it, like I was thinking about it from like a macro standpoint, business wise. Like what's the product you're selling? Houses. Okay. Houses, they're getting more expensive, they're harder to afford, and the inventory is low. So you're selling a hard product to sell, right? People who want to buy a house, sell a house, it's a big move. Okay? So it's like, it's slow. It's a slow feedback loop. I just didn't like it. It was just too slow for me. And, it's going to be harder for people to buy it in the future. And so for me, it just seemed like a dying business. Yeah, okay. Two, it's not scalable unless you hire people or take over more markets. And I just didn't want to do that. To get to the top 1% of each, field that you're in, there's a ladder you have to climb, and each ladder has different skills and different things you have to do. So for real estate, the ladder was like marketing, real estate, or marketing, lead generation, sales, relationships, all of those things. Like it's a combo. And I just didn't see myself wanting to climb that. I tried, definitely. I tried. I've made thousands of calls, and I was like, I don't like this. And people could have been like, I was like pushing through, like, oh, suck it up. But there is something better for you out there because like when you're good at something naturally, like if I was naturally a good salesperson or naturally a good, marketer and stuff like that, like, yeah, I probably could have found some good feedback loops in there, but I just didn't. Yeah. So third thing, super saturated. Everybody's a realtor. It's really hard to stand out as a realtor unless you have a good track record. And that takes time. Like I knew my peak in earnings would have been like 5 years in, and I just didn't want to, and that would have been like what, a couple $100,000 a year, no, I don't know, 5 years in this, I'm making millions, right? Yeah, like super saturated. Everybody and their mom does it. People love working with their families more, over like a realtor who's better. So it's like, for me, it's just like, how do you like stand out besides like convincing in sales, like, oh, blah, blah. Like I was like, and the thing about me is like, I don't like selling myself. I want people to work with me just because of like what we have or what they think I can do, and that also has some tie to do with marketing, because people that you don't know or people you're trying to sell, I just didn't want to do that. Yeah, so number 4, it just wasn't my natural talent. My natural talent is math, is like I love investing, probability, statistics, pattern recognition. Like my first real estate investment was a pattern of real estate investing, right? The day trading I'm doing now is patterns of stock trading, is patterns of candlestick technical analysis, right? Like that's what I'm good at. I'm good at statistics, probability. My real estate investment, what was the probability that this would work out? The favors were pretty good in my favor, which is why I did that. And yeah, so that's what I love doing. So this is why I'm in stocks. I didn't really love real estate. I just loved the investing part of it. Like honestly, doing showings, like I was bored as hell. It was so boring, right? And like I don't like dark basements either, and bees nests, and yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, so also the slow feedback loop, right? You could be spending all this time building a relationship and not get a sale for 10 years down the line. I just don't have that time. And also like, I'm not like an asshole or anything, but like you have to be nice to everybody, and you have to talk to everybody. And like, I don't know, like don't get me wrong, like it was fun, but like it's people who like I would not normally talk to, would just keep blowing me up, and it's like I don't really want to hang out. Yeah, so basically, and then I thought, but basically my timeline was, all right, when I was doing real estate a couple years ago, it was, all right, so I'll rack up, 500 grand in real estate, and then I'll do trading, right? So then I was like, okay, well, down the line, if I'm going to do trading, and it's going to take 5 years to build the skill, I would be profitable in trading in 15 years, and I could do it now and be profitable in 5, and I don't need the money because there's prop firms that fund you the money. So it's like, right? And it's like a win-win situation, which I told you guys earlier. So yeah, my like down the line goal was to trade eventually, because I just love the aspect of it. Every little thing about it, it's I think it's amazing. Um, yeah, and then and comparing the jobs real estate versus trading, trading you're working 2 hours a day, right? And you can make salaries basically in a day, depending on the capital you have. Real estate you could be working all day and then get nothing done. I mean, same thing with trading, but with like real estate, it was very easy to think that you're being productive when you're actually not like, oh, I'm hanging out with this person, I'm building a relationship. Like, no, right? Like, oh, I made all these calls, I don't know. No, I don't like doing. Yeah, then the also thing you have to like follow back with these people to build the relationship, and it's like I'm like forcing a conversation, like, hey, I don't know, how's your kids, right? It's like I don't care, like I don't care. So like you got to actually care about these things if you want to be a good realtor. Yeah. Yeah. So the time of the job is better, right? You can work 2 hours and make, bam, 7 minutes, $826, right? And it's only gonna get better. I've been doing this for 3 months, right? Yeah. But yeah. I mean, for like real estate, for trading, there's no boss. The only boss is you, basically. But for real estate, I thought you didn't have a boss, but you do have a boss. One is the brokerage. I've gotten fined, and people, they keep calling me, you gotta do this, that, take this out your listing, whatever, right? Forget about it. And then you also have clients who will call you any time of the day, want to make you pull your hair out, right? Just for like a couple $1,000s. Like, no. Yeah. So infinitely scalable trading versus real estate. Yeah. I mean, there's only a certain amount of houses you can sell versus trading. I guess there's only a certain amount of capital you can invest, but I mean, it's really unlimited. Like, look at hedge funds, right? Yeah. Yeah, and also you can work anywhere in the world. Like, yeah, trading, I could work anywhere in the world right now. Real estate, I would have to build a team, build a whole, basically empire before I could work anywhere in the world and have my team running it. So just that difference. Trading. Also, like trading versus real estate. Real estate, you need a combination of all the business skills. You need the marketing, you need the sales, marketing, sales, lead generation, the real estate skills to actually know about the property, all those things. With trading, it's just trading. It's just charts. And then basically, if you avoid the news days when you're trading, then you basically don't even really need fundamentals as much. Well, it's good to have a good overall idea. But yeah, so I'm gonna be uploading my trades from now on live. I tried to get it to you guys today, but the thing didn't save. So yeah, I'm gonna be trading. Hopefully I have good gains for you guys and we can rack up a lot of money. I don't know why I'm posting this on YouTube. I think just because like trading is pretty lonely, honestly. And like the stuff I'm doing is pretty lonely. I just work all the time, and it's just good to hopefully maybe build a community and grow together. Yeah. Peace.